So I'm just going to make a video about the cost of rebuilding an N55 in your garage and how long it takes and how difficult it is. So this is people trying to do this on their own in a home shop, and there's a certain amount of self-aggrandizement in this video, because obviously I was not just rescued from a POW camp or something like that, but I did spend 6 months on this, and I was working on it mostly after hours, after work, because this is not my fucking job, working on cars. Working on cars is what losers do. I actually have a real job, and I do this on weekends and before work, after work, that sort of thing. But considering that this took 6 months and it was absolute fucking hell, I thought I should just speak about it. So how much does it cost? Well, it costs $10,000. Now, this may seem like a lot of money because, I heard this guy and he got 600 horsepower out of his N55 and he only spent $3,000. So here's what I have to say about that, okay? He's lying. He's lying. People don't actually account for how much they spend when they work on cars. They don't account for it unless they're a proper shop. They don't even know how to account for it, because in order to properly account for how much you spend, you've got to take every single cent that you spend and put it into a spreadsheet. Sum that column. Okay, every single cent. That's every single invoice. Every time you go to Lowe's and you buy a little piece of metal, you've got to put that into the spreadsheet. And if you're not meticulous about it, then you're not going to get a real figure. You have no idea how much you spent. These people are both lying and they're not being meticulous about how much they spent. But it's going to cost $10,000, and the reason is because if you've got a 10 to 15-year-old car, it's going to need a lot of things that are fixed. A lot of things need to be fixed all over the car. Little things. To make it a good car, to be a daily driver, you've got to fix all these little things, all the little pieces of plastics that are missing or broken out of the car. You've got to fix all of those, and that adds up. You go and buy something on eBay, maybe it costs you $8, but then there's tax and there's shipping, and at the end of it, it's $20. There's $20 here, $40 here, $60 there. It adds up, adds up, adds up. It's $10,000. Car's 15 years old. It's $10,000 to fix it up into good condition. That's how much it costs. And anyone who says it costs less, they're lying. So, unless the car's been absolutely impeccably maintained, but then the car's going to cost $10,000 more, and you're not going to need to overhaul the engine, because it's going to be a car that was driven very lightly and change the oil often, and then it's going to be in incredible condition, and then it's going to cost $10,000 more anyway. So the market is very efficient. The car costs $10,000 less than the engine's going to cost $10,000 to rebuild. There's no shortcuts. And then of course there's how long does it take. Now if you've done it before, obviously everything's faster. But if you haven't done it before, then everything that you do, you've got to research all of the parts. You've got to wait for them to arrive. You can't order overnight shipping for everything, because that's $200. And it's time consuming, and the research is time consuming, and the measurement is time consuming, and waiting for this tool that you're missing is time consuming. So you're looking at 6 months to rebuild an N55. So maybe I could have pushed it more and done things more efficiently, and it would have taken 4 months. But it actually took 6 months. So bank on 6 months. 6 months, $10,000. What's the point of this whole thing? Well, there actually isn't much point. I mean, to be fair, there's advantages. So I've got a car. It's now in impeccable condition. I mean, it still looks like an old car inside, because obviously the leather is 12 years old, 13 years old. But it drives like a new BMW. This engine is perfectly smooth. It's got the ZF 8-speed transmission, which is the most fantastic transmission ever made. It's incredibly smooth, and people actually sit in this car and comment on what a luxurious drive it is. So that is great. And I could probably put $100,000 in this car from where I am, which will bring me up to 100,000 miles, which will put me up to 240,000 miles. So I can drive this car for 10 years. Yeah. So that is actually quite a nice place to be, to have a brand new engine. I think a crate engine, N55, is $15,000, $20,000, I don't know. So then the next aspect is the effort aspect. Working on this in your garage is hell. Everything needs to be done twice, because you do something right, whatever. You're supposed to put something in first and you put it in the wrong order. Every part of this BMW is not designed to be serviced, because the design of the engine is that if there's a warranty claim, they just do the simplest thing, which is replace the whole engine. You've got a procedure for it. Nothing is really meant to be serviced. This is a sell and throw away car. And after the warranty period ends, BMW essentially has got a business model that it's a fire and forget. Sell the car, it works very reliably during the warranty period, and then it's done. The value of the car is essentially zero from that point on. And that's their business model. They're only interested in people buying new BMWs. That's the design. That's the business. Nothing is meant to be serviced. They've got thousands of pages of service manual in the ISTA, which are never meant to be read. Okay? And there's a vanishingly small, aka zero, number of people who rebuild these engines. And every aspect of the service is, will you buy new? The piston's not damaged, you buy new. Crankshaft's damaged, you buy new. Cylinder head's damaged, you buy new. Servicing things in a real sense of restoring them is not part of the framework. So everything you've got to research, and everything's difficult. The information is difficult to find. So that's what actually some of these videos are about. They're about aspects of information that you can't get anywhere else. And these videos are not for people watching to entertain themselves, just one of them. So all of this is hell, and hopefully I've got some critical pieces of information there I'm missing elsewhere on the internet that can help a person who's trying to do this in the garage. It's hell. You've got to have the most intense mechanical fortitude that you can have to work on this. I've watched people work on cars, watch blogs of them where they didn't have that kind of mechanical aptitude. They got to a thing and they got stuck and they didn't know what to do. And you can't be that sort of person. You've got to figure it out. You've got to buy the tool, and then you've got to make the tool if the tool doesn't exist. You've got to figure out a way of doing things. Sometimes they might be watching 10 YouTube videos to figure something out. But what are you supposed to do if you are a novice mechanic and you can't get a bolt off? Well, I know what to do. I know all the things to try. And if you aren't one of these people, I can tell you now, this isn't a Nissan truck from the 1980s, okay? Which has got plenty of space to work. You can fix it. This is absolute hell. Every aspect of it hell, every aspect of it is torture. You think running the Boston Marathon's hard, you think climbing Mount Everest is hard. It's nothing compared to this. This goes on and on. It's constant unknowns, because if you get to a stage and you can mess something up, you've got to start over. So, you know, that's what I have to say about that. Right now, this has got no codes. I put the inject adjustment values in, which I've forgotten to do, into the engine computer. And now all the codes have cleared. There was some catalytic converter codes. It's probably because of those injectors. That's cleared. OBD readiness is done except for the evap. It takes a long time to clear, but it was good enough to get inspection passed. All the codes are now cleared. Everything sounds good. It's like a new engine, I think. Check the oil filter. There's no shit in there. So I think we're done. There are some other videos I actually have to upload, but I took some footage that I haven't actually put into a video. So those will be retrospective videos which I'll put on. Do not subscribe to this channel. I don't want subscribers. I don't care. I'm not going to make a living off YouTube ever. And if I think of anything else that I want to say, I'll tell people. Put another video on. And just, you know, watch out for all these liars out there with their 700 horsepower and 500 horsepower. I did this, it only cost me $50. It's all bullshit, you know. It's all bullshit. But there is something to be said for about driving a car that you rebuilt the engine. And I've always had this kind of fantasy of honing the cylinder bores myself, getting them just right, putting the car together and driving it. And there is something to be said for that. There's something spiritual about driving a car, built the engine down to the last bolts, the last washer, the last gasket. And few people ever understand this. And it's an exclusive club, that's what I'll say. It's an exclusive club. So anyway, that's all I have to say. Bye-bye.